Hey, what is up? It's me, RedP, and today I've got a review of the 2017 Microsoft Surface Pro as a tablet for you. So, why did I say as a tablet, when Microsoft's new marketing calls the Surface the most versatile laptop? Well, here in the EU, we didn't get the new type cover or the new pen at launch, so I bought a Surface Pro with the Surface 4 pen. This gave me the opportunity to take a look at the new Surface Pro as an iPad replacement. A full review and a new pen review will probably come out later, so subscribe if you want more Surface reviews. But let's get into the review. My Surface is the i7 8GB of RAM and 265GB SSD variant. I used it to replace my iPad, so it had to do video watching, web browsing, mail checking, and taking notes in university. But I also used it to run Adobe Premiere, Photoshop, Lightroom, and Dreamweaver, which, my iPad simply couldn't do. The design of the Surface Pro didn't change too much in 2017, mostly because it's still a stunning design. We've got more rounded edges, a new kickstand hinge, and a new look for the ventilation. Other than that, it looks and feels like a Surface Pro 4. The Surface magnesium body feels really premium, and the overall build quality is perfect. On top of the device we find a plastic bar which houses the power and volume buttons. On the right we'll find a mini DisplayPort, one USB 3.0 Type A port and the Surface Connect port, which is used to charge a device with a magnetic charger, so no USB-C charging, which I think is a bad idea anyway. Magnetic chargers are great, even though Apple abandoned MagSafe, which I don't think was a really good idea. So what I want to say is I love magnetic charging ports and the Surface has got one. Furthermore, the Surface Connect port can be used to transfer data to the Surface dock or a not yet released USB-C adapter. On the left we'll find a 3.5-inch headphone jack, and on the bottom we've got the Surface type cover connector, which we in Germany can't use up to this point because Microsoft thinks that we don't need the keyboard for the most versatile laptop. Sounds stupid, right? But I have to add that all the accessories from the Pro 4 will work on the new Surface Pro as well. So, you could get a keyboard. On the back we have a shiny Microsoft logo on the built-in kickstand, which is the signature feature of the Surface Pro line. The front houses loud stereo speakers, a webcam, blacked out light sensors, and a Windows Hello IR camera. The display is really beautiful and has good colors, and with the resolution of 2736 pixels by 1824 pixels, it just looks really sharp. The display was a big step up from my iPad, but that's really subjective and probably influenced by the bigger screen. But let's get into the features the Surface Pro offers. One distinctive feature of the Surface is the kickstand, which can now go as low as 165 degrees, but it can be positioned at every angle you want, and it will stay there rather firm. A hard press will still move the kickstand, and without any rubber feet, the Surface will slide on tables. But overall, the kickstand is a solid design and allows the Surface to be a lot more versatile. Watching a movie, getting the right angle to draw or type, there is most likely an angle for exactly what you're doing. While previous iterations of the Surface came with a pen, the new one does not. I think this is a bad idea because the pen is what replaces your exact mouse in tablet mode, and allows you to use programs such as Adobe Premiere efficiently in tablet mode. You can buy the pen extra and it will magnetically attach to the Surface, but the new pen isn't out in the EU yet, so I've got the old Surface pen. Maybe there will be a comparison between the two generations of pens later. Still, the pen is a central piece of the Surface experience, and if you're getting a Surface, give the pen a shot. Either for digital notes, drawing, or just as a mouse in tablet mode, I think it's a really useful tool. But then again, I got a Surface because of the pen and to take digital notes, so maybe it's just me. The Surface also features an IR Windows Hello camera for facial recognition. This means you can log into the computer with your face. When you pick up the Surface and start it, it will log you in quickly. But if you have some backlight or sitting behind a window, for example, the face recognition can fail. Another feature of the Surface is its charger. It magnetically attaches to the Surface, so if you yank on the cable, your Surface won't go flying all over the place. I prefer Apple's MagSafe design because it's easier to blindly plug it in, but Apple abandoned MagSafe, so I guess Microsoft now rules the magnetic power adapter market. The charger features an extra USB port which can charge your phone, which is neat, but even though the Surface connector can transfer data, it cannot be used as an extra USB connector for the Surface itself. Even though I don't own the i5 model, which is fanless, the thermal design still benefits the i7 variant as well, because its fan is really quiet running Premiere. My desktop with really big fans is louder and I can't hear my Surface when there are other sounds present. Also, running it in battery saver mode will block the use of the fan even more, so it can run kind of fanless a little longer. And comparing that to my MacBook where everyone in the entire neighborhood knows I'm rendering a video, well, let's not make this comparison. We know that touchscreens on high-end devices work well, so most of the time it comes down to the OS and software on the product. So let's talk about Windows. First of all, I typed this entire review on the Surface Pro on-screen keyboard, but it does miss quite often and I don't know why that's the case. While the keyboard pops up most of the time you select the text field, it sometimes simply doesn't. Bizarrely, this happens a lot in Microsoft Edge, Microsoft's own browser. So I don't know what's going on there. Like on most other applications, it just works. I don't know. Using Windows 10 with touch does work well with the interface, Microsoft's own apps and the store apps, but full-blown Windows apps struggle if they have, for example, hover functions or anything. A good example is, as I said a million times, Adobe Premiere. In these cases you can activate a digital touchpad, but that's just a workaround. Overall, Windows 10 isn't as touch-friendly as iOS, which everyone expected anyways. Things like setting up multitasking just take 1 or 2 more touches on Windows. But Windows then offers a lot more customizability and options. For example, how to arrange the windows or have more than 2 apps open at the same time. In my opinion, Windows Touch interface can still improve, but these usability compromises in comparison to an iPad are worth it for power users. But if you're looking for just a web browsing tablet, iOS does a better job. But then again, why are you looking at the Surface, which is a fully featured PC anyway? Then there is the Windows App Store. Some Windows fans will tell you that they found the apps that they needed on the store and that the store is filled with apps. Well, you're not going to find all you need in the App Store. It's simply not enough. But the Surface can download any Windows program from anywhere, so that's not really a problem. Still, don't download illegal or dubious stuff, that's how you get viruses. While the store is definitely lacking, the amount of native Windows programs, as we all know, is astonishing. I love Adobe CC on a tablet. I did have one problem with the Surface though. The auto brightness on the Surface isn't smooth like on a Mac or an iPad. It has little steps to it. So I deactivated the auto brightness because it was distracting. But this didn't change the problem and the screen was still adjusting all the time. To prevent this, I had to make a registry edit, more details in the description. So let's summarize the tabletability. It's not the best tablet out there, mainly because it's quite big and uncomfortable to hold with one hand for a longer period. You would be fine. And comparing the usability in Premiere on full Windows 10 to iMovie on an iPad just seems unfair. Still, we have to make this comparison, and the iPad would be better, but then again, it's just a 2-in-1, you gotta make compromises here, come on. But with the kickstand, you can deploy this device anywhere. I normally use it on a desk, on the bed, or in my lap. The kickstand makes all of these configurations effortless. So I come to the conclusion, everyone already knows an iPad or an Android tablet is more usable as a tablet because it's not a 2-in-1, it doesn't have to appeal to all the features. But if only a tablet would be what you want, or why do you consider purchasing the expensive Surface Pro anyway? The Surface Pro is simply more than a tablet, and you have to make some trade-offs. And they're not as bad, I can make it work, and I don't regret changing from my iPad. So I would want to talk about the performance here, but this is a review of the Surface as a tablet. A laptop review will come later when I get my type cover, so I won't get too technical here. All you need to know is that the Surface handles tablet tasks with ease. As it should for over 1,000 euros. The fan of the i7 model is quiet when it comes on. Cutting videos in Premiere, editing photos in Lightroom with Photoshop work well. So that's all I'm going to say about the performance in this tablet-centered review. gaming tests will come later. Battery wise, the Surface gives me 7 to 7.5 hours of regular use. 8 to 8.5 if I just use OneNote and nothing else, no video streaming, but the battery life can be cut down to 3 hours with intensive use of the Adobe CC Suite, like After Effects and Premiere. That's still more than my 2012 MacBook, for whatever that's worth. The battery life is obviously far from the 13 hours Microsoft claims, and my regular use is 25% screen brightness, so working outdoors will give the Surface a bigger hit in battery life due to the necessity of high screen brightness. At the end, I would like to talk about the value. The Surface Pro is expensive, no doubt about that. You get a first-party Microsoft product with excellent build quality for it, but there are definitely alternatives out there, especially when you don't want the pen. Microsoft Surface Line is the Apple of Windows, or the guideline for Windows OEMs. So you'll pay a lot, but you will get a really nice product. So if you know you want a Surface, just buy it. It's an amazing device. Thank you for watching, and I hope I see you in my laptop review of the Surface Pro.